Hi guys. All right. Thank you for joining me today on today's live. We're going to actually just be talking about um, a, uh, it's a part of the 30 things that you can do with a 501c3. But I kind of wanted to go over why nonprofits get funded and trying to give you a little bit of education on why those nonprofits get funded. So I'm going to share my screen here. Right. And let's see here. Oops, share it. Okay, let me go over here. All right. All right, so there's an IRS rule that has a taxes on failure to distribute income for private foundations. So a private foundation is a nonprofit that is formed as a tax shelter for a for-profit company. So a Ford will have a Ford Foundation, a Google will have a Google Foundation, a Bill and Melinda Gates will have a Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Why do all of these big, huge companies have private foundations? Because it is a tax shelter. So the government says, hey, you rich company, if you give some money to a good cause, we're going to let you get a tax break on your for-profit taxes. So instead of them trying to add up a whole bunch of money to give to people, they're just going to take one lump sum out, put it in their private foundation, and then that money that's in that private foundation has to go to, the good cause. They immediately get to take their tax break on their for-profit taxes. But I'm going to read this for you guys. It says, private foundations, let's see. Private foundations are required to spend annually a certain amount of money or property for charitable purposes, including grants to other charitable organizations. So they are required to spend money, right? A foundation that fails to pay out the distributable amount in a timely manner is subject to a 30% excise tax. All right. An additional 100% tax is triggered if the foundation fails to make up the deficient distributions within 90 days of receiving notice from the IRS of its failure to make minimum distributions. So what does that mean, guys? Why is that important? Well, a 30% tax means if you have $100,000 and you have a 30% tax, you're going to give the government $30,000. If you have a 100% tax and you have $100,000, then they're going to take $100,000 off of that's going to be your tax. So you're going to have $0 left. So let me end up hold on one second, guys. Let me end up showing you this. I just downloaded it. Ford Foundation. Okay, so Ford Foundation has hey guys, can you guys close the door? Okay, sorry. Sorry, guys. Um so Ford Foundation, basically, this is live, basically has some things that they're going to give. But what I wanted to bring your attention to is they have $12 billion in assets. Oops. Nope. I need to put it over here, you guys. Okay. Ford Foundation has $12 billion in assets. So, as you can see, in that year that I pulled this, they gave out $560 million in grants. So, what that means is what would happen is if they did not do that, they would have got a 100%. First off, if they didn't pay the $560 million on time, they're going to get the 30% excise tax on the $12 billion. So the government would have took 30% of $12 billion. And if they hadn't give out the $560 million, they would have got 100% tax, meaning the government would take their whole $12 billion. So what I want to say to you is this is how nonprofits. Some nonprofits get funded. You can definitely get sponsorships that we talked about. You can get those tax credits that we talked about. You can get the sponsorship that we talked about. You can get all of those things, and this is another way that you can use to get money for your nonprofit. So remember, guys, I have that Facebook page that's called Nonprofit Startup Kit. I do some special things and go into deep learning inside of that group. If you guys are interested in doing that, I have put my Facebook page inside of the inside of the comments. Join that Facebook group. It's free to join. And that's it, guys. If you have any questions, you can kind of go into that Facebook page, post some questions, just so I can know who you are and what type of nonprofit you're trying to open. All right, guys. I'm coming from Georgia today, so I'm not actually in my house, and have some friends with me, and we're gonna have some fun. So I'll be doing the next few lives from Georgia.